Method Success Framework: How to Make Your Kids Successful. Hi, my name is Anna Zakkery. Welcome to the channel. For today's video, I've decided to talk on an extremely important topic, which is not directly related to digital marketing, but it's extremely important for mothers who watch my channel a lot, for those who are hesitating between starting work and applying for a job, or proceed with your career, or stay at home and bring up the kid. Today, I decided to share my personal approach, which I called the success framework, which I use in bringing up my kid. I have 8 years old daughter. She has a tough character. She is one of those kids who will not obey every word you say. Every time we were packing up for the school, it was a nightmare. Before I started to implement my own method, success framework, it was a nightmare, believe me. Every time I asked her, "Hey, sweetheart, hurry up, we're gonna be late for school," she was starting to move even slower, like in a slow motion, because she was not going to obey what I'm saying. Every time I was about to ask her, "Hey, sweetheart, how are things going at school? Let me check your home assignment," she didn't want to do that. She didn't want to share anything. She hates to do mistakes and she hates to fail. That's why every time I ask her, "Hey, I would like to help you with your home assignments. Let's do it together. Let me sit by your side and help you to understand some mathematics that you need to accomplish at school," she immediately started to cry. She started to behave so badly that it was all the time a nightmare. So I thought, okay, I have a limited nerve cells. I cannot stand it. I'm working all the time and I do not have a lot of free time, and my time with a kid is limited. As for many of my subscribers, it's the same situation. So that's why I thought, okay, I do not want to waste those golden minutes with my kid in arguments. And I thought, okay, I need to find out some method that will help me to come over all those arguments and make the life of my kid and make our relationship way easier. If that's about your situation with the kids, let me know in comments that I'm not alone. Just put, "Yes, I have the same problems, Anna." Comment below and that will be a huge support for all mothers and parents who are suffering. Here are the steps of my personal method, which I called success framework, which I use in a relationship with my kid. Step number 1. I decided that I need to forget about all unfulfilled goals and all untaken opportunities which I wished I used in the past. Meaning, sometimes parents do a huge mistakes. We try to make our kids to accomplish everything what we had not done in the past. For example, one of my goals, I have never ever was the first in the sport. My parents just didn't sign me up into any sports sections. And that's why when my kid was 5 years old, I said, okay, we need to find some training for you in order for you to be the first and to win the championships. Whose projections those were? Mine. Where we ended up? She hated everything what I was offering her in a sport. Every time we were going to a new sports section, it took her like 3-5 times. And then after that, we ended up like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. So right now, ask yourself a question, not your kid, but yourself. What projections you are trying to apply on your kid? What goals and opportunities you have not taken enough in the past and now you are trying to make your kids fulfill them? Unfortunately, I know it's an inconvenient truth, but their life is their life. And it's up to them to decide what they like and what they do not like. And sometimes the goals that we wanted ourselves to achieve in the past, they just do not understand why they need to do it. And in my experience, every time I was on the way to apply my projections to my kid's life and make her achieve the opportunities which I missed in the past, by some invisible force, it just didn't come up. So this is first assignment for you. Think about some projections and goals that you're trying to apply to your kid's life. And let me know in comments, is that your case? The next step which you need to accomplish according to my method success framework, you need to think on a long-term basis, how will your methods of bring up a kid look like? What I mean by this, every time we face challenging situation in a relation with the kids, we are eager to take a single time decision. For example, if you see that your kid again did not make up a bed and you start arguing about that, oh, why didn't you do that? I asked you so many times to do that. So you need to understand why you're asking to follow that habit and how you will behave once the kid is not doing it. What will be your strategy? Because usually the strategy is just to argue and to shout and to quarrel all the time on these issues. It doesn't work. Prove me, I tried so many ways, it just doesn't work. According to step 2, with this method, you need to figure out what is my strategy on a long-term basis, what do I want to achieve? If you want to incorporate discipline into your kid's life, okay, how will you do this? How will you change your behavior in case if your plan A doesn't work? What will be your plan B? Why you want it to be done? What benefits the kid will have in the future? So just sit down and spend like 1 or 2 hours on figuring out, take it as a project, not just a single time comment on somebody's behavior, but a real project. You can compare it. I'm an entrepreneur and I've started so many businesses in my life. And before we start any business, before we even just start working with a new client in my marketing company, we all the time just sit down and outline the action plan we're gonna change. And as well as we outline the strategy for a couple years ahead. So where is the difference? The importance of bringing up a kid is way more higher than the importance of opening another business in your life. If there is a rule, every time you open a business, you need to have a business plan and a strategy, or you're starting a new project, you need to evaluate the market and you need to do the research and you need to have a plan. So why don't you do the same when we talk about the kids? The next step is all about building a success routine. I believe, you might not agree with me, but I believe that the kids nowadays are lacking discipline. I'm sorry, okay, you can go and hate me in the comments. I strongly believe that the people who have achieved significant heights in their career or in their life have followed a specific routine. They were able to stay consistent on a long-term basis. And when we talk about incorporating discipline or incorporating some routine into the kid's life, it somehow create an order and create like solid points which organize the kid's life. So here is how the success routine of my kid looks on a daily basis. Number 1, make up your bed. I was inspired by a famous book written by William McRaven, which is called Make Your Bed. Little things that can change your life and maybe change the world. If you have never met it and if you've never read it, do it. It's all about small points, small habits which you consistently repeat in your daily life and which form a tremendous discipline. And the book is all dedicated to the idea that once you make up your bed every morning when you wake up, you have a chance for another fresh start once you come back home after a hard working day. When you come home and you see order in the things, you see that the bed is made up, and these give you the hope that tomorrow you will start over and it will be a fresh start. This is one of the key ideas of the book. So if you are eager to share some of the wisdom with your kids, I recommend you to read this book. How does the daily routine of my kid looks like? Make up the bed, clean your teeth, something not too difficult for 8 years old. Put the dishes into the sink or in a dishwasher once you've done eating. Once you came home from school, unpack your backpack and pack for tomorrow. Do your home assignments and then you're free to go. But as I said, my kid has a tough character and it was not so easy to follow these steps. That's why the next step helped me a lot. So according to my method, the success framework for kids, the next step is a reward system. What I've done, you can print out on a big sheet of paper the list of all actions that needs to be done on a daily basis. And then on the upper row, you can date it with the dates of the month and days of the week. And then every time the kid fulfills the task by himself or herself, you put a sticker, I put stars, you put a sticker on the opposite side of the thing. Here's an example. One of the important things for my kid is brush the teeth yourself twice a day. So if she fulfills this task, she gets a star. Every star worth 50 cents. So by the end of the week, she gets the reward. And she sees how much money she made this week, and she sees the opportunity to make even more money the next week. How she uses that money, it doesn't matter. It's totally up to her. She can order whatever she wants. All stupid stuff, which I would never buy, everything what she desires. This brings the idea to her mindset that, okay, I decide myself what I purchase, how much money I make, I'm an adult, and I'm fully responsible for what is going on in my life. Definitely, it will take you a while to incorporate all these systems into your daily routine, but if you do that, if you manage that, that will be a game changer. The last step in my system is lead by example. If you yourself never read a book, if the kid does not see you reading a book, how can you make the kid read a book? If you've never achieved anything in your life, how can you demand from the kid that he needs to study well and achieve some really good grades at school? If you yourself smoke or you consume alcohol or you are not a reliable person, how can you talk badly about bad behavior with your kid? So think about that. First, you show the example and then they follow. If we talk about the success of the kids, it's really important to understand what they want. I already mentioned that in the first point of this video. For me, I've understood that the only thing which I can do in order to understand better my kid is to support a healthy conversation. It's very similar to marketing. If you want to target the audience with the right offer, you need to know what they want and how talk to the audience. I've bought this simple instrument on Amazon. It's called Little Talk. There is a collection of flashcards which we use with my kid just to support conversation. This is how it looks like. So the cards has different colors. Each color is dedicated to a specific topic. How it looks like. For example, this color of the card is about reflect and connect. So you pick the card, it's your turn to speak. And here's a question for you. What did you do today that made you feel proud? So you answer yourself to this question. And then the kid picks up any color of the card. For example, this one, the green one, it's likes and dislikes. And the question to the kid will be, where do you most like to eat? It's a simple question, but actually it can bring you a lot of new information about the kid. Let me check another one. This color is about self-expression. My question would have been, when have you kept quiet when you should have spoken out? Such a deep question. When have you kept quiet when you should have spoken out? And I give my example, and then the kid can give her example as well, or that depends. You can choose how you play, or she can pick the other one. And then this color is a random topic. The question here is, who is your hero and why? This helps to develop mindset and to connect you with your kid way better. It's called Little Talk. They didn't pay me anything, so it's not an advertisement. It's the thing that I use myself. And I see that the relationship between me and my kid has become warmer, and we talk really a lot. Even if you're driving somewhere and you have some time, you know that it's gonna take you a couple hours and it's not sometimes easy to stand it. So find something like this and play with the whole family. I believe that the kids are our mirrors. And if we do not like something in that mirror, the first thing we need to do is to improve ourselves. This is the system which I can recommend to any mother. And no matter if your kid has a beautiful, smooth character, or like in my case, she's a leader, she's a tough character, beautiful girl. So it doesn't matter what is the type of the character of your kids. What you need to do, you definitely need to think on what strategy you have in bringing up the kids. Let's discuss this in comments. What methods of bringing up the kids, or what habits or what actions helped you to overcome some difficulties in relationship parent-kid. See you next time, and don't forget to subscribe.